My name is Dylan Rochelle, and my partner is Elizabeth Brown, and we have a question to pose to you. How would you feel if you were woken up in the early morning to the sound of fists banging on your door to find out that the life of your loved one was just taken due to someone's negligent choice of driving while intoxicated? This is precisely the reason why we chose to do our presentation over why you should never drink and drive. In fact, 3 days after choosing this topic, an old friend of mine died in an alcohol-impaired accident. Drinking and driving is a 100% preventable crime that can potentially result in taking the lives of innocent drivers and bystanders. I want to briefly discuss the background behind drinking and driving. According to History.com editors, on September 10th of 1897, a 25-year-old London taxi cab driver named George Smith became the first person ever arrested for drunk driving after he slammed his vehicle into a building. Smith later pleaded guilty to his case and he was fined 25 shillings. In the United States, the first laws against operating a motor vehicle while under the influence of alcohol went into effect in New York in 1910. 43 long years later, in 1953, Robert Borkenstein, who was a former Indiana State Police captain as well as a university professor, invented the breathalyzer, which was a tool designed to gauge the proportion of alcohol vapors in the exhaled breath, which reflects the level of alcohol in the blood, and this tool is still used today. I want to briefly discuss the main points that I will be touching on throughout the rest of my presentation. First, I will define drinking and driving as well as related statistics. Next, I will discuss the advantages of drinking and driving. And finally, I will discuss the disadvantages of drinking and driving. Now, what is drinking and driving? According to Carol Galbasek, who is a writer for Alcohol Rehab Guide, drinking and driving is defined as getting behind the wheel of any vehicle, whether it be a car, a truck, or a motorcycle, after consuming alcohol. Now, according to the article Impaired Driving, Get the Facts, every day 29 people die from accidents involving an alcohol-impaired driver. Of the 1,233 traffic deaths among children 0 to 14 years in 2016, 214, which is approximately 17%, involved an alcohol-impaired driver. And lastly, in 2016, 10,497 people died in alcohol-impaired driving crashes, accounting for 28% of all traffic-related deaths in the United States. And if you look at this chart, you can see that from 1993 to 2014, we as a nation have not been below the rate of 100 million crashes that have to do with alcohol-impaired drivers. As far as disadvantages go, referring back to Galbasek, the most common disadvantages of drinking and driving are slow reaction time, lack of coordination, reduced concentration, decreased vision, and inhibited judgment. And if you look at these images, you can see exactly what that consists of. Now to briefly discuss advantages. According to drunkdrivingprevention.com, the most common advantages for someone who makes the poor decision to drink and drive and get into an accident are probation, community service, loss of a driver's license, expensive fines, alcohol abuse treatment, jail time, and if they kill an innocent person, the most significant advantage is facing their family. Some people may ask, how are there advantages of drinking and driving? Although there may be no advantages for the drunken driver, there are plenty of advantages for the loved ones of the victim involved. The biggest advantage being the justice that is served on behalf of the victim. In conclusion, there is no excuse for an individual to drink and drive. This is one crime that is 100% preventable. And only you can decide on whether you want to commit this crime. With the points that my partner and I have provided to you, we hope that you now have a better understanding of the dangers of drinking and driving, and we sincerely hope that you choose to never make the mistake of doing so. To my old friend, I hope to see you again someday, and lastly, These are my sources, and I hope that you enjoy this presentation.